Hello, hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Cleo Washington coming to you live from the Intel platform. And I just wanted to chime in because right now they're having these talks about reducing the vaccine schedule for children. And while that may come across on the surface as a good thing, and it is, I have to call things out as God has shown it to me, right? So that may come across as a good thing, and it is a good thing. However, considering the fact that RFK Jr., okay, he knew that the COVID-19 injection was a bioweapon back in 2021, 2022, long before he held the office of head of HHS, okay? So because they have not reported this and vetted this to the American populace in that fashion, then in my mind's eye that they're dirty, okay? We all know that these vaccines are designed to do one thing, and that's kill, steal, and destroy, okay? And the very fact that they are minimizing the child vaccine schedule, that's a good thing. However, if the vaccines are killing folks and the entire medical system has been weaponized, then what's going on, okay? Because the last time I checked, it is protocol. When you have vaccines and one batch of those vaccines are bad, the protocol number one is to stop and recall all the vaccines, okay? So RFK Jr. knew that the COVID-19 injection was created by our Department of Defense and then distributed to the pharmaceutical companies to be dispersed amongst the American populace and so on the world. Okay? Now here they are talking about they minimized the child vaccine schedule down to 20% of what it normally would be. And that's stated, that's a good thing. However, considering the fact that our children are being diagnosed with autism like never before. We have children 3 and 5 years old having heart attacks and strokes. And it is expressly due to the vaccine, and they are covering it up. So listen, the entire administration is dirty. The entire government of the United States of America, Democrat, Republican, mayors, governors, from the top to the bottom, they are all on board with the New World Order agenda. They're all on board with it. So why do you think, instead of stopping and recalling all the vaccines, why do you think they minimize it to 20%? It's because they all are on board. They all are, let's just say, on board with it. They all are getting a cut. So to go and just stop the vaccines, you're hitting too many people in their pocket, too many permanent people. So they have to keep a little something going, regardless if the children are dying or not. You follow me? So to me, it's something bad wrong there, okay? Bad wrong. But we're going to watch a little bit of this. I'm going to play a little bit of Trump speaking. I'm also going to play a little bit of, not Fauci, RFK speaking as well. Let's go ahead and jump in.
Vaccines. So in a nutshell, and you can see it through this, we're breaking up the vaccines and we're breaking them up into time periods. Okay, not so complicated. And we think we're going to have a tremendous result from doing that. Very simply, large amounts of vaccine, large amounts of like vats of vaccine are currently pumped into your child's body. And we're doing 20% of that at each visit. And we'll let time elapse between visits so the
So 20% of that, again, we have to keep Big Pharma on the payroll. We have to keep that payroll wheel turning, so to speak. Because there are people that's got their hands in that pot and getting a cut of it. And you think Donald Trump does not have his hand in that pot? Somebody check me out and do the research and let me know if the Holy Spirit is right, as he has always been. You follow me? So this is what I'm saying. We have been sold out to China. They don't give two big pins about the lives of Americans, because if they really did care about the lives of the American populace, they would admit that we were hit with the bioweapon, okay? and they would shut the nation down in the same fashion that they shut it down to administer the vaccine in order to administer detoxification protocols. They don't give two bit pins about you, America. Okay? They don't give two bit pins about you. So this is what I'm saying to you today, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? We're going to have to push back and take our own governments back. We're going to have to formulate unions around the nation, and we're going to have to install what I like to refer to as kingdom personnel, because the people that have led us thus far, okay, they are just like all the people who have led this nation for the past 250 years. It's all about a dollar, okay? You whitewash religion, you strong arm a country, you build that country after you strong arm a people, and you use that people that you strong arm to get free slave labor out of those people. Then on top of that, you built this nation on child sex trafficking. You follow me? Then on top of that, you was doing things under the table like Tuskegee and all of the experiments on the American populace, namely African Americans. Talk to Anthony Fauci about HIV/AIDS. It was created in a lab to target African American populations. Yeah, him and Bill Gates. You follow me? Then on top of that, we have the COVID-19, which is the biggest fail of them all. You follow me? Let's continue. Let's hear what Donald Trump has to say, and I also want to get to Fauci. I will stop as led by the Holy Spirit.
He can handle this massive amount of fluid being pumped in. I think it's going to make a big difference. You know, there are some groups that have virtually no problem with autism, and I have to say this, they're groups that aren't big into the world of vaccines. So there's something wrong when we see record numbers all the time, every year for years and years. Every year gets higher autism.
And see, we've gotten to this point now where they have to do something, but to me, we already know that the vaccines are the problem. So why play around with the problem? That's like, okay, we know that there's a king cobra in the house, and we've got it cornered, we've got it captured, and we're going to cut its tail off, and we're going to release it back into the house. That's crazy. No, you recall all these vaccines, and you test all these vaccines. You follow me? Let's continue.
And we think we have a very good recommendation, and a lot of good things are happening. We're going to be releasing some.
And see, that's the problem. We have too many recommendations. Listen, these people that are in power, that are in this nation that we know as America, most of them have sold their soul to get to the place and position where they are. You follow me? So they are just following orders of their father, the devil. This is why things are the way they are. This is why right now, everything that's been done in the dark, if it hadn't been exposed yet, and most of it has, it's going to be exposed. Make no mistake about it. It is going to be exposed. I digress and continue.
Very detailed. Here's another one. European countries versus the United States. Look at that. These are high-level, very medically powerful European countries. You see the top. That little chart says a lot, but that's the difference. So with that, I'd like to have Bobby say a few words, please, and then we'll go to the others. Please, Bobby.
Thank you, Mr. President. I want to start by just reinforcing something to the President.
Now, let me reinforce something before we listen to RFK Jr. speak. Keep in mind, in 2022, his interview with Sasha Padilova, I will put the link in the description section so you can go and study it. He was informed at that time that the vaccine was created by the Department of Defense and distributed to the pharmaceutical countries around the nation to be dispersed amongst the people. Let's continue.
Said, which is the source of his concern about this issue. And I'll just give an example. In 1970, the biggest epidemiological study at that time in history was performed. And the university scientists from across this country looked at all the 8-year-olds in Wisconsin, about 900,000 children. And they were looking for autism, and they knew what autism looked like. And they came back with an incident rate of point.
Now keep in mind, okay, that he knew back in 2022 that the COVID-19 injection was a bioweapon and autism was one of the main symptoms in children. And see how they're acting? Listen, they're urinating down your backs and telling you it is raining. Let me tell you something, okay? And this is what God is saying at this time. Under my helm, we are going to de-weaponize the entire medical industry. We're going to start to look at holistic healing practices. We're going to take what Dr. Sebi did, and we're going to dump millions, if not billions of dollars into that research to buttress what he started. You follow me? Dr. Sebi, he healed people of HIV/AIDS. He healed people that were full-blown AIDS. He healed people that were stage 4 cancer. He healed people that had diabetes, no problem. Heart disease, no problem. High blood pressure, no problem. And he done it all with the food. So under my helm, okay, we are going to incorporate holistic healing practices into the everyday life and living of America. And we are going to take what Dr. Sebi started, and we're going to, instead of dumping billions of dollars each day into blocking out the sun and doing all this crazy stuff with the weather, we're going to invest billions of dollars each day into holistic healing practices, and we're going to heal the nation. You follow me? Because right now, Big Pharma, they want your money. And I said it before and I'll say it again. My mother, before she died, I honestly, listen, I know for a fact in my mind and in my heart that Big Pharma murdered my mother, okay? And they did so through the prescriptions. She had the pill pack Monday through Sunday. And each day she had like 15 pills to take. Now, I would imagine that some of those pills have adverse side effects. And some of those adverse side effects will have an adverse side effect with another adverse side effect of another pill. So now you have another symptom, and then you go back to the doctor, and he give you another prescription in addition to what you already have to, escalate the interstellar war of adverse side effects, so to speak. You see what I'm saying? Weaponized. You talk to the people that's got all those prescriptions now. I had a conversation with a young lady last night, and she was telling me how the doctor gave her all these prescriptions. She said, Cleo, I ain't even taking all of that. I said, good, because they have an agenda right now, and that agenda is to kill you. You follow me? There was once upon a time, and this is why our elders are so hard, okay, to get them to understand that the medical industry has been weaponized. It's so hard to get them to understand that we have no choice but to go to holistic healing. You follow me? Because they came up during a time where the doctors was totally cool with them. The doctors would come to their house, man. They had personal one-on-one relationships with their doctors. You follow me? So you talking about subconscious programming and how hard that is to break, especially, listen, my dad is one of them. If the doctor didn't say it, he ain't doing it. You follow me? And I can have all the research, but see, we are going to have to get away from that thought. You follow me? We're going to have to get away from that practice, because right now, the doctor is not your friend. Right now, the doctor is on the Big Pharma payroll. Make no mistake about it. You don't think he's getting a stipend for all of the prescriptions that he prescribes? Think again. That's why he writes them like that, because he's getting, his hand is in the pot. Let me say it that way. His hand is in the pot. Let's continue.
0.8 per 10,000. So less than 1 in 10,000. The rate, according to CDC today in this country, is 1 in every 31 children. In California, it's 1 in every 19 children, 1 in every 12.5 boys. There has been a dramatic increase. One of the things that the industry likes to say, one of the talking points, which the press loves to...
And let me pause right there. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, at this point, we cannot believe one word that's coming from these agencies. If it's the CDC, HHS, any of them, you follow me? They will lie as regards the numbers to make themselves look good, as they have lied as regards them covering up the number of deaths that have occurred from the COVID-19 injection. As stated, it was and is the biggest fail that this nation has and will ever know. Make no mistake about it. If Americans knew how many people have passed away from the COVID-19 injections, if Americans knew, and listen, I write about this in my book, Modern Spiritual Warfare, Volume 1, expressly. And I give the details expressly. And not only are they details, but they are factual details. Okay? Factual details. So a lot of the things that was done was underhanded from the beginning. Okay? From the beginning. Let's continue.
All right. So we're just noticing it more. But this is an absurdity, and this is an assertion that has been debunked again and again and again by peer-reviewed literature. But it's also debunked by common sense, because if we were just noticing it more, we would notice it in older groups. But we're not. We're only noticing it in kids who were born around 1989 or after. The older generations, you're not seeing those increases. So something happened.
And see, that's exactly what I'm talking about, okay? I have a lot of friends. For some reason, I make friends with a lot of older people in their 60s, 70s, and 80s, right? And you know what they're telling me? They're saying, Cleo, all of our friends are dying, okay? They say, all of our friends are dying. And I'm getting this from a lot of them. They're dying from heart attack. They're dying from stroke, okay? They're dying from just, accelerated death processes, right? And this is what they're telling me. And I'm like, well, did they get vaccinated? And they would say, yeah, well, there you have it. There you have it. Listen, they're saying there's too many people on the planet. And they want to minimize Earth's population down to 500 million. You follow me? They have rolled out their bioweapon. They have rolled out their first strike weaponry. And Americans just want to stay fat and happy and stick their head in the sand. And not only do they roll out their bioweapon, okay? And this is why I'm about to start picking bones with the church. You follow me? I'm going to have to get it up there with the church, because the church does not want to do anything about it. Listen, these people conjured up demons in a lodge at night. Let me say it again. These people conjured up demons in a lodge at night and corresponded and communicated with these demons, and the demons were the ones that told them how to construct this vaccine, how to make this man-made but demon-inspired construct. You follow me? And everybody that I'm talking to at the church, we just need to focus on the Lord. This is what God meant when he said, will he find faith in the earth when he returns? This is precisely what he meant. Will he find faith in the earth? You follow me? Because the last time I checked, faith does not cower away and slink away and do nothing about the Goliath that's coming before us each and every day, saying, come on out and fight me. You follow me? What if David had taken the stance that the church is taking today regarding the COVID-19 bioweapon injections? You follow me? There's no room for cowardness in the kingdom. God hates a coward. Make no mistake about it. God hates a coward. And he's getting ready to expose a lot of people, because a lot of people with worldwide platforms, they don't want to do anything as regards this satanic, demonic, worldwide takeover. When we're sitting here, outnumbering them by many, we have the entire host of heaven at our back. And furthermore, read the last page of the book, we win. This is why I don't understand, what is the church waiting for? You follow me? We're at the last minutes of the very last hour. We're on the 4-yard line. It's fourth down, okay? It's in the fourth quarter. We got 4 seconds left. And we're on the 4-yard line. So either we getting in or we ain't. You follow me? Keep your head on a swivel. Intel.